Thanks for staying with us. You're still watching Standpoint, and we've been looking at the security situation in the Southeast. Many said that have degenerated, especially in the region that was considered one of the safest in the country, for decades. We're still speaking with the special advisor on media and publicity to the Abia State Governor, Alex Oti. His name is Ferdinand Adekioma. We've also been speaking with a security expert, Imisim Willie. But let me now come to Mr. Adekioma. I want to get to issues around negotiation because I think in recent times there have been that call, especially since President Tinubu took office. There have been a lot of calls for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. I will get to that in just a moment. But I wanted to ask you, because we've seen governors in their different states will give an order for people to get back to work, civil servants to get back to work. We'll see an order from governors saying traders should return to the market, saying, this sit at home on Mondays, can no longer work. Well, people will refuse to leave their home because someone in Finland, someone like Samuel Ekpa will say, if you do that, it is going to be trouble. People will rather listen to him than listen to, the sitting governor. Why that particular situation? Why were people more scared, of, someone like Samuel Ekpa, who is not even in the country, than respect the order from the governor?
Generally, our people consider the individual, Simon Ekpa, as an enemy of the Igbo nation. Our people are not listening to him. Those traders you see stay away from their markets are not listening to him. They are simply avoiding tragedies. They are running away from death and violence. That's all.
Because so basically, and sorry to interrupt, basically, it is a problem with the security architecture.
Absolutely,
so you're saying that people do not trust that they will be protected enough. So speak to us about that security architecture and the gaps.
Absolutely. That is why I keep hammering on responsible governance. Because government is an institution that is so powerful to protect its citizens, especially when you are confronting inconsequential characters like the guy you just mentioned. So if we had a security architecture that is formidable, that is proactive, you have formidable intelligence gathering that will help you nip the activities of these people who will be coming to unleash mayhem on innocent citizens. If you have formidable... Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely.
Good. But because in the past, when people decided to obey the government and went out to do, their normal businesses, and they came under attack, so people now decided, some people had lost their lives in the past. So who would want to, risk his life going out? He would rather say, let me stay at home and be alive. So it borders on security failure, on challenges with our security architecture. And that is why we are insisting that it's not just enough to tell the people, go about your normal businesses, nothing will happen. The question is, what has government done, or what have different governments done to ensure that lives and properties are protected? And that is what the government, because this is one of the measures to bring, whatever directives the guy is giving to an end. Because people would, it's not necessarily that that's the wrong assumption people keep having, that our people are obeying them. They are not obeying them. They are running away from danger. And that is why we expect that government will sit down, do the needful, put the necessary security mechanism in place to protect lives and property. And you see that these guys will begin to feel disappointed with their directives and, and stay away and stop what they are doing, especially the one that is hiding in Finland, giving directives. Why hasn't he come down here, to enforce that his directive? Why hasn't he come here to lead from the front? But he knows what he's doing. He's deceiving people, So, but nobody is actually believing him. That's the truth.
Let me quickly bring in Mr. Willie, and before I let him go, Mr. Willie, should this be addressed as a national security? Because people say, look, this is a national security issue. It's not just the Southeast. So let's address all of these issues together. Or should every region be taking, one after the, with their specific challenges?
We are operating under true federalism. And so it will be out of place if the federal government will say, oh, South East Zone, take care of your problem. So that will be out of place. And then another thing is about that if the governor of a day sees a security challenge in one zone of the federation as being useless, as not being not being useful, or not is not
So the
important to
question I was
attend to.
asking Mr. Willie is not about whether the situation in one zone is useless. I was asking that, look, should the government take all of these issues together as a national security crisis, or should it address them region by region? That's the question I was asking.
Yes, in the first instance, the government should take it holistically, the security situation of the country. However, since one particular region of the country is much affected than the other, so that area that is much affected should be given much attention to. Also, because when this is done, it's see that the whole will now come together for full operation. Because when there is no peace in the society or in the country, the governance or government of the day will not be able to operate successfully. And so those steps are very, very important. Giving immediate attention to the pressing zones of the particular area of the country will really help to bring the total peace that the country needs. So it shouldn't be something that the federal government says, no, go and take care of this. No, it should take it holistically, but give attention to the area that these issues are much affected, so that the masses, the citizens, will feel safe, and then they'll be proud of the government the government in place, and then you see that the masses will support the government. And when the masses have lack of confidence or trust in the governance, you see, it will be very difficult for the government to succeed peacefully.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Amisim Willie, for talking to us, security expert. Thank you for talking to us.
It's a pleasure.
All right, let me now focus on Mr. Ikioma, because he understands this issue, and we're going to, part of this conversation where only he can actually address, because he lives there. He's a public office official there, and so he can speak more on this. So there have now been calls for Nnamdi Kanu to be released, but I will get that. I wanted to answer that, but let me ask you at this moment the level of coordination amongst the Southeast governors to resolve this particular issue.
Okay, a few governors are just came on board, and that is we expect them to have a kind of fantastic cooperation that will yield the desired results. Some of them are just trying to settle down, but I'm so convinced that we are going.
Mr. Ikem, are you still there?
Hello?
All right, great. You're back. So you were speaking to the coordination amongst the Southeast governors.
Yes. I said, that some of them are just coming on board. You have a new governor in Ebonyi, you have a new governor in Abia, and of course, you have a new governor in Enugu. So some of them are just trying to settle down. But I am convinced that there will be a new dimension, a more fruitful, more progressive dimension to solving this problem. And that is what we expect.
So let's now talk about the calls for Nnamdi Kanu to be released. People are wondering how
it's something that determines the progress or otherwise of the Southeast, and we, some of us, will play our own individual roles to ensure that that process starts, where these people will come together, because it's easier to solve this problem. It's very easy to solve the problem if the governors, can come together and see this as a serious challenge that we must overcome.
And is your governor, Governor Alex Oti, in support of the call for Nnamdi Kanu to be released?
Well, he has not said anything to that effect, even though I know that he is shortly diplomatically, without saying anything about it in public. But I know that that will be his position. This is my belief that because it serves everyone. It serves the interest of everyone. It will help come back to that process of negotiation, process of restoring peace and all that in the southeast. Because it doesn't make sense that we want to solve a problem and without looking at a key actor involved in the issue we are discussing. So that should be his position. I believe that will be his position. That is what we want. That is what we desire. Part of the dialogue, part of the negotiation, part of the strategy and process of restoration of peace in the southeast. This is a new government, and I strongly believe that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Haji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, would want this is somebody that had been part of anti-military protests in the past. This is somebody that had was a kind of pro-democracy activist, want to ensure that his government is not confronted, there is not faced with these agitations or perceived to be undemocratic in nature. That's what I feel.
But did you listen yesterday? I think it was the reaction of the House of Reps. When this was raised, one of the members, I think it was Benjamin Kalu, who mentioned it, who is the Deputy Speaker of the House of Reps. And you had other people who quickly said no. That's another House of Reps member who said no. This case is in court, and so the House of Reps should not be involved in it. What's your reaction to that? Because many people will say this is a court case, and perhaps government should not get involved.
Well, the president has the powers to withdraw any case pending in court. What we are in the course of pursuing peace, you adopt all strategies you believe could help you get to your destination. And destination here is peace and security. And don't forget that it was federal government that initiated the legal action. So the federal government is at liberty to say we have decided to discontinue with this matter because we want out of court settlement. We want to adopt a better strategy that will yield the result. You can only make progress. You can only succeed in an atmosphere of peace and security. And I do not think that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria would want to be distracted by this because we've got a lot of challenges we are grappling with as a nation. And you cannot allow this to aggravate the other economic challenges we have on ground. It has met a lot of challenges, humongous challenges. The economy is in a shambolic state. That is the truth. And I don't think he would want to be distracted by this issue when there are better strategies, better measures, better decisions he can take to overcome them. So those who are saying is out of court, yes, he may have, the person or the individuals may have their reason, but I do not think they have carefully thought through it because maybe they may be feeling, it doesn't concern me, I am not affected, but it could affect you tomorrow. When the issue of Boko Haram started, many people thought they were safe. Many people thought they were, weren't going to be affected. But the whole thing went out of hand. The whole thing got aggravated, and a lot of people lost their lives and properties and all kinds of things. A lot of things, have happened over time as a result of the activities of Boko Haram. And because we didn't take the best decision, because we were not proactive enough to term it at the incubation stage. And this is not what we should allow again. We should learn from history. We are told that those who fail to learn from history need to see history repeat itself on them. And it's not in our interest.
But Mr. Ikyoba, what is the guarantee that, if Nnamdi Kanu, is released today, that stability and peace will return to the Southeast, and that perhaps, he would not continue, or that those agitations will not continue?
It could be a huge enabler. There is even nothing at this point in time that is going to give you 100% guarantee of security in any part of the country. Because there are people who are committing crimes in the name of IPOB who do not have any business with IPOB. That's the truth. But what this thing will help do, it will now unmask the real criminals, and nobody will have any reason to associate them with IPOB or that. So if you, and of course, you don't just open your eyes, that there will be negotiation, there will be understanding. And if the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu comes out, and he will see maybe this is a new president, this is a different president with different ideologies and vision and policies and programs and attitude towards the people of the Southeast. And so I do not see the situation here continuing because he has a lot of followers who are listening to him. And here, there could also be a possibility of collaboration between him and the governors of the Southeast here. Because to a great extent, what the people want to be assured of is that those they have presiding over the affairs in the Southeast are serious-minded individuals who are desirous of, development, who are desirous of rendering responsible and responsive governance to the people. So you cannot have 100% guarantee because he also has his own limited powers. But I am so sure that to a great extent, there will be serious reduction to the security challenges we are having here because he has got thousands of followers who insist that he must be released. So I wouldn't want us to come it from the angle of threat or intimidation or ultimatum. No, my position is that dialogue is in the interest of our. We are all brothers after all. We are all brothers with dialogue, with negotiation, with diplomacy.
But if the government says, look, we're looking for assurances that this is the path to stability, that if it is released, this will ensure stability, will the governors be willing to stand, perhaps maybe as a surety, or to make some concessions and say we would give you this, or we are going to stand as surety to ensure that this happens? Will that be, or some elders in the Southeast?
Well, the governors will take their decision themselves. They will say themselves. But the truth is that it's important we don't see this thing from the Southeast perspective alone. People come to Southeast. It affects everybody. That is the truth. People come from different parts of the country to Southeast. There are people who, if you go to a place like Aba, you see the thousands of people coming to Aba on a daily basis to buy one thing or the other. You understand? So it's something that affects everybody. And those people who come from the north, from the southwest, from the south, and from Cameroon and even different parts of West Africa to come and buy, they are also affected. So most of them will be happy. All of them will be happy to see us overcome this problem. So it's not a Southeast thing. So it's something. And
there is also the Onitsha market where a lot of people, from around the country come to buy things from. So it's the national economy that has been affected as well.
Exactly. And security of life, people have died. Innocent persons have died. You understand? So nobody can say, I am too safe because I'm here. And you can't even predict what will happen tomorrow. Because when you have this kind of security challenges and you fail to solve it, it's just a matter of time before it will take a different dimension. And that is what
we're looking forward at this point in time. We're looking forward to how, that very first, meeting by the state governors and how, elders will address this. And we will have you over and over again just to talk about this particular issue. Thank you so much. And other issues as well in Abia State. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
Mr. Ferdinand Ekioma, Special Advisor to Governor Alex Otti on publicity and media.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my sister. God bless.
All right, we're watching, monitoring the security situation around the country and just developments as well. And you'll be sure that, every other Saturday we'll be here to talk about it, bringing stakeholders in this particular issue. Thank you so much for watching. It's been Standpoint. You can watch a repeat broadcast at 11 p.m. tonight and 5 a.m. on Sunday morning. I am Precious Amayu. Thanks for watching.